Hi guys, welcome to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Midday Market Mood Check with me, Nandita, Khemka, and my colleague Yatin, Mota. Well, Yatin, the markets are really struggling for direction. Even though we managed to defend that 19,800 mark, we are hovering around that level since morning. Even though the Sensex is also trading in the green, the broader markets are holding out. Surprisingly, the Nifty small cap index is up somewhere around 0.8%. Even though yesterday I remember we were talking about how the liquidity is actually moving into some of these IPOs that have opened up. Tata Tech IPO for one, I think 9 times subscribed. Yeah, 9 times vis-a-vis the shares on offer. And aside of that, if you look at some of the sectors that are moving today, Pharma Pack is clearly under the weather. Of course, the major culprit here is Cipla. We'll be talking about that in details. But aside of that, Realty is seeing a good buying interest today. So that's one pocket that's doing well. Let's also talk about the Nifty gainers, in a jiffy before we talk about some of the movers and shakers in trade. Nifty gainers, Hero Moto, Bajaj Auto. So all these two-wheeler stocks are in, top gear. Aisha Motors also for one. IndusInd Bank, that was a top loser yesterday, has managed to get back into the green. And Tata Steel is the other one that's among the top gainers on the Nifty. On the flip side, Cipla, that stock tumbled over 7%, Yatin. I remember we were talking about how it has not really reacted that much to USFDA warning letter. But all the reaction is coming in today, given the fact that we have details as to what issues have been flagged in the USFDA warning, right? We'll be talking about that. So that's the top Nifty loser. Aside of that, you have Divi's Lab, you have Ultratech Cement, SBI Life, Apollo Hospital. These are some of the top losers. But let's talk about Cipla, Yatin. Biggest fall in 9 months, 7% drop coming in on the share prices. Of course, we had exclusive CNBC information that the USFDA warning letter has flagged off manufacturing practices. In the letter. Anything else that you're picking up from that letter?
I think there are data integrity issues, and more importantly, the warning letter can escalate to an import alert, and probably that is the reason why the street is fearing that there could be some USFDA action soon. They already have a problem in the Goa plant, and now further escalation in the Indore plant would mean that their guidance for margins which were bettered last quarter, that is on risk. So I think earnings wise there could be some cut, and probably now the street is fearing that there could be some further action on the Indore plant. Obviously time will tell as to how really the company responds to this warning letter which has been given by the USFDA.
Right. Aside of that, I think let's talk about the gainers. Bajaj Auto. That stock is very close to 6,000 rupee mark.
Correct.
In fact, it hit a fresh 52-week high today. Morgan Stanley has come out with a very bullish report, and it has pegged the target price at over 6,200 rupees a piece. It believes that, of course, Triumph is scaling up well, and the management was on CNBC TV 18 yesterday. Rajiv Bajaj, he indicated that they will be looking to sell somewhere around 10,000 units per month, right? So that way they are increasing production as well as distribution of that particular product. And of course, Chetak is back in an EV avatar, and that segment is also scaling up well. So these are some of the positives flagged off by Morgan Stanley in its report. And of course, Bajaj Auto shares clearly reacting to that. And of course, they are also looking to launch a CNG two-wheeler by 25 or 2025, if I stand corrected. So that these are some of the factors behind the rally on Bajaj Auto. Aside of that, Yatin, of course, the stock of the day is Honasa, Mama's parent, 20% up move. Jeffries had already flagged off or had already given a vote of confidence to this stock a few weeks ago, and that kind of is reflecting in the stock prices over the last few sessions. But today, 20% up move on the back of good earnings, Yatin. Aside of that, what else are you flagging off in the broader?
So the broader in the market, EID Perry yesterday there was a bulk deal in which promoters sold, and this is indicative of a family settlement according to CNBC TV 18 report. Post that block deal, or rather bulk deal, we have EID Perry shares rallying 6% in trade. Kochi Shipyard, there is analyst meet, and ahead of that the stock is moving 5%. SW Solar, the Nigerian order, are probably auguring well for the company, and there have been some more developments in the company because of which there is good buying interest there. Suzlon, after quite some time, has reversed their losses. Stock is up 5%. What's not doing well is Tube Investments of India, TI India. Yesterday the stock was up 13-14%. Today witnessing some profit taking, down 7%. Home First Finance, and this was CNBC Awaaz exclusive. There was a block deal in the counter, post which there is a 4% correction that is being witnessed right now. Stocks which are at 52-week highs include the auto stocks, Hero Moto, Bajaj Auto, and as you said, not only brokerages, but if you look at the rural markets, they have been also witnessing some demand recovery, post which stocks are doing well. Sanofi, Balrampur Chini, Bharti Airtel, Exide, all of these stocks are at fresh 52-week highs in trade today.
Right, I think Jefferies has also come out with a report on Piramal Pharma, wherein it expects margins to reach high teens by FY26. It believes that this stock is a high conviction buy. On the back of that, this particular stock was also up somewhere around 3.5% or thereabouts. But I think CDSL is another stock that was gaining in the fact that it has registered 10 crore demat accounts, and that's boding well for the stock as well. But aside of that, I think no clear direction, as I mentioned, but it's the weekly expiry today. We have to see whether or not the Nifty manages to defend that 19,800 mark by end of trade today. Of course, we'll be talking about that in details at 3:30 p.m. So tune in for closing bell around that time. We'll also be talking about the stocks that will be on our radar this afternoon. So don't forget to tune in for that. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and Yatin. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates.